What's good, guys? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to give you guys a quick update on the markets, break down what's happening with Tesla SPY and a couple of other tickers. I also talk about something very, very big involving Tesla shorts. But let me just mention that I am not a financial planner. Make sure you take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, but benefits the entire Tesla community as a whole. Anyways, looking at Tesla, we're building some strength right now compared to the market. Tesla saw a nice little push all the way up just under the 260 area, the level we called out before it came back down, and now it's kind of consolidating. So yes, we did get some consolidation just under 253, and Tesla's still holding up very, very well. But the question is, what's going to happen from here? Don't forget, guys, that tomorrow is going to be Tuesday, July 9th, and then at about 10 o'clock a.m., that's 30 minutes after the market opens, we have Jerome Powell giving a testimony. What the guy says could cause some crazy volatility, so we'll just have to wait and see. There's also been a lot of talk about Tesla shorts who piled into Tesla, especially right before the big rally, and they're actually seeing some hefty losses, at least for now. So what's going on with this? As you guys can see, about 18% of the 500 plus hedge funds tracked by the data provider Hazeltree, had an overall short position on Tesla, at least at the very, very end of June. And that's actually the highest percentages we've seen in over a year, according to figures shared by Bloomberg. So that's actually very important. A lot of hedge funds have been shorting Tesla like crazy, shorting it to oblivion, betting it's going to be crashing. And those hedge funds ended up experiencing some big losses. That's part of why Tesla ended up squeezing the way it did. We saw a nice short squeeze, and this is going to likely continue at least as time goes on. There's been a lot of talk about how the way things are looking, there's been a lot of negative sentiment about Tesla, a lot of negative talk about their fundamentals and why Tesla's going to, drop and stuff. So we're seeing a lot of hedge funds. If you actually look at this from the latest data from Hazeltree, a large percentage of them are actually shorting Tesla, the highest we've seen in about a year. And that's why Tesla has relatively high short interest as well. So with all the shorts piling into Tesla, one thing worth noting is that all this negative sentiment has led to a lot of talk about it crashing. Instead, the opposite happened. Tesla's actually up over 40% since it started to rally. So it's pretty crazy to see how much this thing started to run. Now, I can't show you guys the exact numbers. I don't have all the numbers from all the hedge funds, but I do have some of them. I have a couple of them that I can show you. It's worth noting that right now, estimates are showing that Tesla shorts may have lost over $3.5 billion on a market to market basis, according to S3 Partners. And these are estimates from them. And on top of that, it could be even higher than that if we kind of like have more accountability for them and we actually see like the bigger picture. But that's just based off what's reported. So about $3.5 billion were lost in just about a week or so on Tesla already from shorts. Could be even higher than that, could be in the tens of billions if we account for every single one of the shorts out there. But that's just what estimates are suggesting. Now, one thing worth noting is that Elon Musk is also criticizing the shorts. And he's actually said this in a lot of tweets over the last couple of weeks. He also criticized some big figures who are once again doing this. He mentioned that once again, shorts are going to be obliterated. He mentioned that betting against the stock is not a good idea. He's very, very bullish on Tesla, and he thinks that once again, Tesla's known for just getting so much unnecessary criticism. That's what Musk was implying right over there. And he's saying that it's not a good idea to short the hell out of Tesla, especially considering the fact that the short interest has been going up for the last couple of months. We're actually seeing a high short interest on Tesla, and we actually have about a 1.5 days to cover ratio. So that's once again telling us that once again, with increasing short interest and with this going on, Tesla has potential for an even bigger short squeeze. The shorts are still once again remaining relentless. So that's very, very important. I just want to make it very clear that Tesla is holding up decently. We're still in this 250 area. We're still consolidating around this range. We made an attempt to break up, but we kind of struggled to break past 260 so far. So we're still consolidating. I'll be watching this support near the 250 area. If we break this, I'll be looking for basically 245 and then 242 as two key levels. If we manage to break past 253, I'll be looking for 255. As of right now, we're just shuffling, so I think Tesla will just remain range bound for now. There's not really much going on for now. As far as SPY goes, we're also kind of trading sideways. I'm seeing a little bit of weakness on the chart. This kind of resembles like a head and shoulders like structure, especially right before Jerome Powell's testimony. But nothing's guaranteed until we hear what Jerome Powell has to say. So watch support currently at 554.5 and watch resistance at 555, not to mention 556. As of right now, we're kind of shuffling on SPY. We'll see if this dips a little bit more towards the 50 EMA. So I'm seeing some weakness on SPY developing, and there is a risk of downside, but we'll have to see if that ends up being the case, depending on what Jerome Powell says tomorrow. Nvidia is shuffling at 127. We'll see where this ends up closing. There's a good chance we close in the 127s. Not the worst close, not the best of closes, kind of in the middle. So we'll see how that goes. But I do anticipate it's going to just kind of dip a little bit more. Bitcoin's trying to rebound. Make sure you watch resistance at 56,000. If that breaks, we're going to be looking for 58,000. That's where we have this imbalance. If you reject, you'll be dipping all the way down to about 55,000. So I'm going to give this some time. For the QQQ, kind of dipping a bit. If we end up losing support at about 496, we'll be looking for a dip towards our 50 EMA at 495, then 494. I know those levels are very, very basic, but if we were to lose 494, that's when the big drop is going to come. So I'll be watching each of these supports. Watch and see how we end up performing on the QQQ. We also have resistance at 497.5. We kind of struggled to break through that. So this looks a little bit more like it's going to dip a bit, at least to me. Uh, Aapl kind of dipped and now it's rebounding, so it might try to push a little higher, might try to get very close to 227.5, but then we might shuffle and reject back down. Overall, we're just shuffling, not really doing a whole lot. Supermicro went all the way up to about 920 a share, only to return back down towards 900. So we're still kind of shuffling. Might retest 892, but I still see a very, very good chance of that potentially happening. For Coinbase, we're also trading sideways right over here. If we end up projecting, I'll be looking for a dip back down towards 216. If we break past 222, we're going to be looking for a push. I still see a risk of that potentially dipping. Amazon failed to break above the 200 resistance. Now we're showing some weakness. This wedge actually ended up failing. So I'll be looking at potentially a test of 197.11, the 200 EMA. There's a good chance that's going to end up happening. Meta is also dipping a bit. We're looking at 527. If this fails, we'll be coming all the way down towards 518. Uh, Microsoft is kind of dipping. If we don't get back above 465, I'll be looking at 464, followed by this previous resistance becoming support at 462. If Google rejects, we'll basically be looking for a dip all the way down towards 189. If that fails us, we're going to be dipping down towards 188. I am seeing some risks of downside. So with that being said, I want to make it very, very clear that this is what's been going on. GameStop is just shuffling. As of right now, it's not really doing much. And then AMC is also trying to push higher. So we'll have to see if we get a nice break from here above 5.5. So we'll just have to give this the time it needs. With that being said, thank you all so much for listening. Please have a great rest of your day. Just know that right now, Tesla and the market are just kind of shuffling. Tesla's still holding above 250, so it's doing quite fine, but we're just in a consolidation phase for now. There is more upside potential for Tesla later on down the line, but that's all I really have for this one. With that being said, I want to thank you all so much for listening. Please don't forget that tomorrow we have Jerome Powell giving his speech. When he gives his speech slash testimony, he's going to be questioned a lot. And then when he's questioned, what he could say some things that are kind of like off script, or he could even say something that's a little bit different from what he's been saying. So that does lead to risks of the market potentially moving a little bit differently. So we'll see how it goes. But anyways, guys, I just want to say I really appreciate every single one of you guys for listening. I'll be back in just a few hours for one final update for the day. Until then, have a great day, guys, and peace out.